I am going to be super fast, and I am used to that. See, this overall governance is a concept which I have considered in several occasions, which basically becomes an essential requirement in terms of business, and it requires consideration of the business assets, the applicable laws, the risks that are involved, anticipatory and futuristic, and also the ethical and ESG part of it. Today, certain corporations are built on certain undesirable foundations. Probably you would have read about the Antrix Devas Corporation case, which came from Bangalore. It was connected with the Indian Space Research Organization. And Antrix Devas case was a very interesting, very important case where the agreement to use the satellite rights was founded on fraud and was very recently found by Supreme Court, and that was a Supreme Court decision in this particular case called Devas Multimedia case, is something which we need to read. In Tamil we used to say Kalavum Katru Mara, means you have to learn all the ills and the negative things also to understand the proper way of life. In Devas case, see what Supreme Court says. As a matter of fact, fraud is the foundation of the entire corporation. If the motive is fraud, then if seeds of commercial relationship between Antrix and Devas were a product of fraud perpetrated by Devas, every part of the plant that grew out of those seeds have to be removed. And this was one case where it was found by Supreme Court and beautifully actually explained by technical member and judicial member in NCLT also. And there Supreme Court has come to this level that the shareholders who are the promoters of the corporation who have been giving instructions to the body called Board of Directors are liable. Therefore, this is what I want to say as a first point, that fraud and illegality being the foundation is antithetical to governance. Let us be very clear about it. The second thing I want to tell you is governance is working, decision making, indecisiveness, dilly-dallying, ambivalency, not taking decisions is also lack of governance. That is also very important. You must have the courage to make decisions. And here I would like to say about the South African Airlines case where the chairperson of the corporation was declared unfit to be director of any company for her life. And the reason was, in the Emirates deal, she was dilly-dallying on the MOU, being the chairperson of the board. Nothing moves until the leader moves. OECD principles of governance is the board must take the righteous things at its level for everyone to follow. South African Airlines case, Mayani was declared unfit to be director of any company for that matter. The reason is Emirates deal she did not sign, and she was questioning whether board resolution is necessary for signing a MOU or not. And her confusion was it will give a fourth frequency for Emirates to land in South Africa. And in 2015 Airbus deal also she bungled. Airbus gave an offer, A380 current generation aircraft I will give you. Original contract you now perform, otherwise I will forfeit all your advances. Dilly-dallied in Airbus. South African Airlines would have got a beautiful aircraft of current generation, fuel efficient, environment friendly, without loss of any money, when SAA was in deep red, like our Indian Airlines. Therefore, misgovernance, lack of governance is also a illness in governance. Please understand the second point. Governance requires governing, and you must take decisions. That is what is important here. Volkswagen was in India by the NGT fined 500 crore. Monetary penalty for the cheat device they have employed to produce results which gives you pollution norms very acceptable to the regulators. 500 crore in India alone. Billions everywhere. Johnson & Johnson talcum powder case, $2.5 billion 1/6/2020. The reporting, you see the Supreme Court decision comes, the J&J is able to give $2.5 billion. SEC J&J reports, here is the money. That is the power of money. 2.5 billion is, at that time it was 1 billion is 7,500 crore, and JJ gives the money after so many years of fight, because talc contained asbestos caused cancer and several illness to the mother and the child. Plaintiffs have to fight all through. With money power, the corporate was able to fight it out, and Supreme Court rejected their appeal, Federal Supreme Court, and thereafter they took not even a second to deliver the money. That is what I am saying today. The world we are living, we are ready to accept monetary penalties sufficient for crimes done by corporations. I hope I am able to make you understand. Today that is the world. For the purpose of social cost, for our purpose. That is what we are doing. Bromide. In bread, bromide was added for the purpose of giving the fresh, fluffy feel. And recently it was found by CSE. Therefore, you must have a goal not to indulge in these type of things. So I have told you the third thing also, which cannot be tolerated if you want to be governing the governance. Supreme Court said in Tata Mystery case, Cyrus Mystery case went up to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court said this. They argue, they conceptualized how the corporations came about, from the family form of organizations to professional management to today multinational corporations. Supreme Court says it is common knowledge that some of the industries which take good care of the shareholders, and employees run polluting industries. Therefore, there is always a conflict, a tug of war between competing interests and statutes. We are trying to resolve the tug of war. We are trying to resolve the conflicts. That is why we have the socio-enviro governance, ESG concepts have taken it. India is not the India that we are discussing in the yesteryears. Just now we would have said we have crossed as the fifth economy crossing UK. Fifth largest economy. We are talking about 3 trillion already. 2029, we are going to be the third largest economy of the world. India is the mighty India. And therefore we require currently, what is most important thread or premise with which we need to grow is governance. Is governance as a responsible body? We need good human beings. It is not the decision makers and leaders alone we need to. It is not the intelligent persons that alone we need to. We need to have good human beings in order to serve, and teamwork is the mantra for governance. And that, if you have in mind, governing the governance will automatically happen, because we as CS professionals, governance professionals, we have a role to play. We can define, shape, point out, remove, punish if there is anything that is antithetical to governance. That is why today I feel this conference, my dear friend Kannan has given this Vasudeva Kutumbakam. the topic. That is because the world is, no, you are not, like what our Swamiji said, you are not alone. You are supposed to take care of the society. In order to take care of the society, remove the elements that cause ills to the society. Because world is one. In Tamil we used to say, Yadum Ure Avarum Kelir. Means, Prime Minister also mentioned this. Everyone, every place is our own. If you want to be that, if you want to feel global, ensure that whenever there is a problem, whenever there is an element that causes problem, whenever there is a threat to the society, point out, remove. That is what is the current understanding, in my opinion, definition of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And I would like to conclude my short speech with only two things. One, there was a story of the Brahmanas having the power to give life to the dead. And they saw a lion, dead lion, and three of them have tried to chant the mantra so that the lion will wake up. And the fourth one probably was a stupid guy. He said, no, don't do all these things, don't test your mantra capacities with this lion. And this guy climbed up the tree, and as expected, the lion was given life, and it killed the life of three. Eliminate and also work, help only when there is a need. To the needy, right persons. That is why I want to draw some reference to criminal defamation case of the 1969 in state of Arizona versus Lewis, where in criminal defamation, the beautiful concept of what is defamation in the mind of right thinking members of the society. Apply the same thing here also. What is governance in the right thinking members of the society, not the lawyers, company secretaries and qualified professionals who will tell. Right thinking members of the society, ordinary folks must understand, yes, this is the governance, this is good, this happens, this brings good results. And that is governance, and that is how you must govern. You should be able to do it. Last but not the least, just read this. Speak the truth. Abide by the law. Put a comma, add religiously. Thank you very much.
Ayam nija paroveti ganana laguchetasam udara charitanam tu vasudhaiva kutumbakam. Those with petty minds accounts thus, this one is mine or that one is his. But for ones with an exalted life, the whole world itself is a family.